Hey, I wanted to send a message right now. Right now is a time in history where people's sense of anxiety and fear is really unprecedented. There's things in the news that are with blaring headlines, basically telling us the world's kind of coming to an end. There's financial uncertainty. There's health uncertainty. There's so much uncertainty and there's so much fear. So I just wanted to talk briefly about what fear is, so we can be able to name it and label it, and be able to feel a greater sense of personal control over it. Fear is inside of us. It lights up inside of us. There's an evolutionary imperative. It's there to keep us safe. Worry is there to keep us safe. Our brain shooting up images of catastrophic future events is there to help plan for worst case scenarios so that we know which way we want to go. The issue is that when our brain lights up with those types of stories about these kind of impending disasters that can happen, our nervous system gets kicked into gear, and we start going into a fight, flight, freeze response. And so our muscles start to tense. Our heart rate starts to go up. We start to sweat. And that sends a signal to our brain, an alarming signal to our brain, to be on the lookout for more things that could be wrong. And so we get caught in what I call this anxious loop. Thoughts, emotions, fear, anxiety, sensations, that nervous system response that I just alluded to, that you might recognize as panic at times, or just as underlying stress that just won't go away. Then what we do is it leads to certain actions. We might be checking our phones more, looking for more impending disaster type headlines. Or maybe we go into avoidance strategies by eating a bag of potato chips, or just kind of vegging out. Or maybe we get totally distracted and we aren't as productive as we need to be. So these dangers, we have to be aware. Some we have control over, some we don't have control over. So the question is, with fear, when fear arises within us, the first thing we want to do is name it. That's the key thing. Once we name it, we bring more blood flow to this area right behind the forehead here called the prefrontal cortex. And that area is involved with emotion regulation, impulse control. It's the part that looks down on the fear circuit of our brain and says like, whoa, we got this. And let me show you how to kind of cool down. So what is fear? And what about naming the fear? And so we want to practice naming that fear. And when we do that, we get to this place where we realize, well, if we can name it, there is an opportunity to really tame it. And we have that personal control. And so fear, as you're starting to see behind me, is also temporary. It's impermanent. It starts to disappear if we allow it to be as it is. If we hold on to it like this, if we hold on to it, if we try and push it away or suppress it in some way, then it sticks around. But if we just allow it to be, like behind me, it tends to begin to just start to fade and disappear. Now, when fear is there, we want to recognize that we're caught in this nervous system response, and we want to relate to it differently with the questions like, what do I need right now? Do I need to feel more at ease? Do I need to feel more calm? Do I need to take a deep breath and look at what I can control versus what I can't control? Do I need to look at what my mind is telling me to actually ask myself, is it even true? Do I need to maybe make space for a little more humor, a little more levity? Do I need to make space for a little more connection in my life? Do I need to take a reality check? Fear is temporary. It comes and it goes. There's nothing more true than that. There's a reality to the impermanence of fear. The sensation is impermanent. The emotion is impermanent. We keep it alive by getting caught in this anxious loop. This thoughts, emotions, sensations, driving us to actions to pay attention to more alarming headlines, to pay attention to more alarming stories in our minds. And the reality is those stories oftentimes aren't even true. And so take time to recognize more than anything else that fear is temporary. There's an impermanence to it. As to all things, it's the one natural law. That's always true. Nothing stays the same, except for that law. of course. And so hold fear lightly. Step into that space between stimulus and response. Name it. And notice that there's more choices, possibilities, and there's more freedom when you step into the present moment and choose where you want to place your attention. Choose your life. Choose what you want to attend to. Choose the next minutes and hours and days and weeks and months ahead. Live the way that you want to live. Okay. We'll be with you another time. Bye for now.